What if I told you that one of the most convincing time traveler stories didn't come from a work of fiction, but from a real-life encounter? Time travel has always fascinated us, from movies like Back to the Future to endless scientific debates. But today, we dive into one of the most captivating time travel stories ever told. Was this person really a traveler from another time, or just an elaborate hoax? Stick around to find out, because you won't believe the details. In the year 2000, an anonymous user began posting in online forums, claiming to be a time traveler from the year 2036. This person called himself John Teeter. His story? He was on a mission to retrieve an IBM 5100 computer, which, according to him, held a unique feature necessary to fix a problem in the future. What made Teeter's tale compelling wasn't just the technical jargon he used or the science fiction-like elements, but how specific he was in detailing world events. He claimed there would be a civil war in the United States and a global nuclear conflict by 2015. While those predictions didn't come true, many people were fascinated by the accuracy of his knowledge about computing technology. Teeter's detailed explanations about time travel also drew significant attention. According to him, time travel was possible due to a machine developed by General Electric. He described how the machine worked, explaining complex terms like Kerr black holes and event horizons. His description sounded plausible enough to stir curiosity even among scientists. Teeter explained that timelines can split, meaning the events he predicted may have occurred in parallel universes, not in our own. While this theory aligns with some fringe interpretations of quantum mechanics, it raises the question, was he a knowledgeable fraud, or was there some truth to his claims? The IBM 5100 computer that Teeter claimed to be looking for was an actual model from the 1970S, but it had an undocumented feature that allowed it to emulate code from older machines. What's truly eerie is that very few people knew about this feature, even in 2000. How could Teeter have known about such a specific and obscure technical detail? Many argue that this is one of the most convincing parts of his story. Whether Teeter was a time traveler or simply someone with insider knowledge about vintage computing remains a mystery. Though Teeter made some bold claims about catastrophic world events, none of his major predictions like civil wars or nuclear destruction came to pass. But some of his smaller predictions did align with later events. He spoke about the spread of mad cow disease, an outbreak that began to garner significant media attention just years after his posts. He also warned about the dangers of over-reliance on centralized systems, a topic that resonates today in discussions around cybersecurity and decentralization. Over the years, many skeptics have tried to debunk the John Teeter story, and there's no shortage of theories that claim he was a hoax. Some suggest he was part of an elaborate marketing campaign, while others think he was an incredibly knowledgeable prankster. However, Teeter's story continues to endure because of how detailed it was and the small, strange facts that seemed hard to fabricate. Whether you believe it or not, John Teeter's tale remains one of the most convincing and enduring time traveler stories to this day. One of the most compelling aspects of John Teeter's story was his description of the time machine. According to him, the machine was a small, portable device developed by General Electric and contained components, like two microsingularities, that were capable of creating a powerful gravitational field. He even shared diagrams of the machine, which had the ability to warp time by creating a controlled time displacement. The details of his explanations were so intricate that they sparked curiosity among some physics enthusiasts. Could it have been an elaborate fabrication, or was there a seed of truth buried within the technical descriptions? John Teeter claimed to be a soldier from the future, specifically from a post-apocalyptic America. He described himself as part of a military unit whose job was to secure and retrieve important technology from the past to help rebuild society in his time. This portrayal of a dystopian future, paired with his mission to save the future world, made his story more gripping. Some were quick to point out that Teeter's narrative mirrored common science fiction tropes, but others felt the detail in his military background gave his story more weight and realism. One of the more fascinating aspects of John Titor's explanations was his reference to the multiverse theory. According to him, his timeline was slightly different from ours, and that explained why some of his predictions didn't match up exactly. The idea that different timelines could branch off from key events, creating parallel universes, was a mind-bending concept that added credibility to his story. Even though this idea aligns with theoretical physics, particularly quantum mechanics, it left people wondering, did Titor really know something about time travel? Or was he merely repeating fringe science concepts? Titor's account of time travel wasn't just storytelling, it had a strong focus on the mechanics of how time travel could work. He spoke about how gravitational fields could bend space-time, a concept based on Einstein's theory of relativity. The fact that Titor used real scientific terminology made many people question whether he was a hoaxer or truly from the future. However, no current technology supports the level of control over gravitational fields that he described, leading many to believe it was a blend of scientific fact and creative fiction. One of John Titor's most alarming predictions was that the United States would be plunged into a second civil war. He claimed this conflict would begin in 2004, triggered by political and social division. While this obviously didn't happen in the timeline, he predicted, some people find parallels between Titor's warnings and the increasing political polarization seen today. Could he have been wrong about the date, but right about the future tension? Or was this prediction simply a reflection of anxieties already present in the early 2000s? Another chilling prediction from John Titor involved a global nuclear conflict. According to him, World War II would erupt in 2015, decimating large portions of the global population and leaving nations in ruins. Titor claimed that this war would be sparked by escalating tensions between the United States, Russia, and China. Though this catastrophic event didn't come to pass, the global political climate and recent conflicts have reignited interest in Titor's foreboding message. Was his warning meant for a different timeline, or was it just a lucky guess? Titor frequently discussed the role of technology in the future. He warned that while technology could be humanity's greatest achievement, it also carried great risks. From the dangers of artificial intelligence to the potential collapse of centralized systems, Titor spoke about issues that have only become more relevant in recent years. The rise of data breaches, privacy concerns, and our dependency on technology in everyday life are all topics that align with his cautionary words. Could Titor have predicted the future struggles of our digital age? Or was it an educated guess based on trends at the time? John Titor's story has left a lasting impact on pop culture, from mentions in television shows to online discussions and even dedicated websites. His narrative has become an integral part of the internet's lore. The fascination with his story has inspired countless works of fiction, podcasts, and documentaries. Whether people believe in his story or not, Titor's influence has shaped discussions about time travel, conspiracy theories, and future dystopias. The internet has ensured that his legacy endures, even if the truth behind his story remains uncertain. Some researchers and theorists argue that Titor may have unintentionally inspired modern theories about time travel and alternate realities. His detailed explanation of the multiverse and how time could be manipulated has influenced discussions among amateur physicists and conspiracy theorists alike. While mainstream science doesn't fully support the possibility of time travel in the way Titor described, his story has sparked imaginations and driven people to explore the limits of theoretical physics. Could Titor have helped shape our understanding of time travel, even if his story was fiction? In 2001, after months of captivating the internet with his story, John Titor suddenly vanished. He stopped posting altogether, leaving behind a trail of questions and speculation. Why did he leave? Did he return to his timeline, or was he simply tired of the attention? Some suggest that the disappearance was calculated to enhance the mystery, while others believe that Titor's silence was proof that the story was a hoax all along. The abrupt end to his presence on forums only added to the enduring intrigue surrounding his tale. Over the years, skeptics have worked hard to debunk the John Titor story. Investigations have pointed to the possibility that the entire tale was a hoax created by a family or small group of people. In 2009, a private investigator claimed to have traced Titor's identity back to a man in Florida, though no definitive proof was ever presented. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the attempts to unmask Titor have only made his story more compelling to believers. Adding another layer of mystery, a company called the John Titor Foundation was established in the early 2000s. The foundation released a book compiling Titor's forum posts and provided an official website for followers to track his story. Many believe the foundation was part of a marketing campaign or an elaborate prank, while others think it was a legitimate attempt to keep Titor's message alive. The foundation's existence raises questions about the motivations behind the story. Was it just about making money, or something more? John Titor's story has become a case study in internet sleuthing. Dozens of online communities have formed to investigate the truth behind his posts. Some believe he was a government insider, while others think he was a highly educated prankster with an interest in quantum mechanics. These amateur detectives have pored over every detail of Titor's posts, from his timeline explanations to the technology he described. Could these communities one day uncover the truth? Or is Titor's story destined to remain unsolved? Beyond the mechanics of time travel, John Titor's story raises deep philosophical questions about fate, destiny, and free will. If time travel is possible and different timelines can exist simultaneously, what does that say about our choices? Are we living in a fixed timeline, or do we have the power to alter our futures? Titor's tale forces us to confront these big questions, making it more than just a fascinating mystery. It's also a profound thought experiment about the nature of time itself. Finally, let's address the question at the heart of this story. Could time travel actually be real? While mainstream science says it's unlikely given our current understanding of physics, there are theories that suggest time travel might be possible on a quantum level. Wormholes, black holes, and the manipulation of space-time are areas of active scientific study. Whether or not John Titor was real, the fact that his story continues to spark discussions about the potential of time travel shows how deeply we're intrigued by the possibility of bending the laws of time. One of the key factors that fueled John Titor's enduring popularity is the open-ended nature of his story. By leaving many of his predictions vague, or by referencing the multiverse theory as an explanation for discrepancies, he created endless opportunities for speculation. People love to fill in the blanks, and Titor's story provided ample material for theories, debates, and what-ifs. From forums to YouTube channels, countless individuals have offered their interpretations of his posts, helping to keep the mystery alive long after his disappearance. Could this deliberate ambiguity have been part of Titor's plan all along? One interesting aspect of John Titor's predictions is how they can be interpreted in hindsight. While his bold forecasts about civil wars and nuclear devastation did not come true, some argue that Titor wasn't necessarily wrong, just off on the timing. They point to rising political tensions, the threat of nuclear war, and technological advancements as signs that his predictions may still be relevant. In a way, Titor's story demonstrates how vague predictions can be shaped to fit future events, much like the interpretations of ancient prophecies. Titor's story also reignites the debate about time travel paradoxes. If he was truly from the future, wouldn't his presence in the past have altered history? The famous grandfather paradox suggests that if you travel back in time and change a key event, it could disrupt the entire timeline, possibly preventing your future self from even being born. Titor sidestepped this issue by invoking the multiverse theory, explaining that he came from a different timeline and thus could interact with ours without changing his own future. This explanation has sparked more debate, as it challenges our basic understanding of cause and effect. For those who believe John Titor's story, the psychological impact can be profound. His warnings about war, societal collapse, and the fragility of centralized systems tap into deep-seated fears about the future. Some followers have taken his words as a call to prepare for a dystopian world, while others are more focused on the technological and philosophical aspects of his narrative. Either way, Titor's story has had a real effect on the mindset of certain individuals, influencing how they view both the present and the future. John Titor's tale is often cited as a cornerstone in the world of modern conspiracy theories. His story combines elements of government secrecy, technological advancements, and hidden knowledge, which are all popular themes in conspiracy culture. From discussions about time travel to fears of global conflict, Titor's narrative resonates with those who are already skeptical of official narratives. His influence can be seen in forums and discussions where time travel, government cover-ups, and technological secrets are frequent topics. Could his story be the genesis of more elaborate conspiracies, or was it just a well-executed hoax? While John Titor is one of the most well-known time traveler stories, he's certainly not the first. Throughout history, there have been various reports of people claiming to have traveled through time, from ancient myths to modern urban legends. Some claim to have seen travelers from the future in historical photos, while others believe in time slips moments when people briefly cross into another time period. Titor's story is part of a long tradition of time travel lore, but the internet allowed his tale to spread in ways those older stories never could. The rise of the internet played a crucial role in the spread of John Titor's story. In the early 2000s, online forums were a breeding ground for strange and fascinating narratives, and Titor's posts quickly gained traction. The anonymity of the web allowed him to share his story without fear of immediate debunking or ridicule. As his tale spread across forums, websites, and chat rooms, more people became involved in the debate, adding their own theories and interpretations. Without the internet, Titor's story might have been just another forgotten urban legend. John Titor's story echoes many themes common in science fiction. The idea of time travelers coming back to prevent future catastrophes is a trope seen in everything from H.G. Wells' The Time Machine to modern-day films like Terminator. Titor's tale borrows from these well-known stories, but with a twist he claimed it wasn't fiction. Whether or not you believe Titor's story, it's clear that he understood how to weave elements of science fiction into a narrative that would capture the public's imagination. Titor's story also raises interesting ethical questions about time travel. If you had the ability to travel through time, should you use it to change past events, even if it risks creating paradoxes or alternate timelines? Titor seemed to suggest that his mission was purely about survival, retrieving a computer that could help prevent future technological disasters. However, many wonder whether time travel would be used for more personal or selfish reasons if it were ever possible. His story serves as a starting point for discussions about how such power could or should be used. Though many of John Titor's major predictions didn't come true, his warnings about the dangers of centralized systems, technological dependency, and political unrest still resonate with many people today. As society becomes more interconnected and reliant on technology, some feel that Titor's warnings about the fragility of such systems are more relevant than ever. His predictions may not have come to pass in the dramatic way he described, but the concerns he raised continue to fuel discussions about our future and how we might avoid potential disaster. One intriguing theory is that the John Titor story may have been part of a social experiment designed to see how people would react to a seemingly credible time traveler. Some believe that Titor's posts were created to study the spread of misinformation and conspiracy theories on the internet. If this theory is true, Titor's story takes on a whole new dimension, serving as a case study in how narratives can take on a life of their own in the age of digital communication. Could Titor's entire existence be the result of someone testing the limits of online belief systems? Despite all the attempts to debunk the John Titor story, one thing remains clear: the mystery hasn't gone away. Whether it's due to the story's intricacies, the lack of conclusive evidence, or just the internet's love of a good mystery, Titor's tale continues to capture people's imaginations. The combination of science fiction, conspiracy, and the unknown ensures that the story will continue to be discussed for years to come. What keeps people hooked? Perhaps it's the possibility that, just maybe, Titor was telling the truth. Titor's story also highlights the growing interest in the relationship between time travel and quantum physics. While mainstream science hasn't confirmed the possibility of time travel, quantum mechanics does open up strange possibilities, such as the existence of multiple universes or dimensions. Could Teeter's explanations about how time travel works have been based on some fringe understanding of these concepts? Whether or not Teeter was real, his narrative taps into the fascination with the mysterious world of quantum physics, where the boundaries of what is possible are constantly being questioned. Interestingly, John Teeter's mission to retrieve an old IBM 5100 computer taps into a sense of nostalgia for older technology. The idea that a piece of forgotten technology from the 1970s could hold the key to the future resonated with many, especially those who grew up in the early days of personal computing. This nostalgic element adds another layer of intrigue to Teeter's story, as it makes us wonder if there are other overlooked pieces of technology that could one day play a crucial role in shaping our future. Part of what made Teeter's story so captivating was the way he engaged with his audience. He didn't just drop his claims and leave, he actively participated in discussions, answered questions, and offered more details when pressed. This interaction made the story feel more real to those who followed it closely. Teeter's willingness to engage in ongoing conversations added to the authenticity of his narrative, making it harder for people to dismiss him outright. His ability to sustain engagement may be one of the reasons his story has endured for so long. Welcome to Blessovia Science TV, where we take you on an exhilarating journey through the cosmos and unravel the mysteries of science. We are excited to offer you the opportunity to become a valued member of our ever-growing community of cosmic enthusiasts and knowledge seekers. Exclusive access to cosmic content. As a member of Blessovia Science TV, you will gain exclusive access to a treasure trove of cosmic content, including documentaries, interviews with leading scientists, space missions updates, and awe-inspiring visualizations of the universe, live Q, and sessions with experts. Your membership will grant you the chance to participate in live Q and sessions with renowned scientists, astronomers, and space explorers. Get your burning questions answered by those who push the boundaries of human knowledge. Embark on a journey that spans the cosmos and join us in unraveling the secrets of the universe. Become a Blessovia Science TV member today, and together we will reach for the stars. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and share. Don't forget to leave your comment.